What's up? What's up? What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back after a very long break to Listings and Lullabies, a girl dad's journey with your host, Varun Varma. My name is Vikas Sandhi as the producer, and welcome, world, to episode 20 after what, like 2 months of recording, Varun?
Yeah.
Man, it's been a break, and we're sorry to all of our listeners out there, to our audience, to our community for being silent. But that's life sometimes, right? And so, Varun, man, how you doing, brother, man?
It's wild over here. It's wild over here. I mean, it's shit. 60 days, 2 months almost. It's been wild in life and work and real estate and everything going on. And the wish and want to really get on here and kind of grow this as a passion project we've had, just kind of sometimes just goes by the wayside, with everything in life. Shit, we haven't even hung out,
Yeah,
Bros and Bows hasn't even hung out. The only time we saw each other was Thanksgiving, really. And we're usually together, once every couple weeks and things. And
yeah,
it's just crazy. Bavisha's been traveling a lot, so I've been single dad life. The parents have had to help a lot more. And they've essentially been parent B
yeah, yeah.
in some capacity and things. So we're struggling. We're surviving. I think by the bare minimum. Um but I think everyone goes through this, and it's wild to see that. And I think I've apologized a couple times before on this podcast to all the other friends and family members of parent that were parents long before I was. And it's wild. You don't really get to see your friends, you don't get to see your homies, your people, your family, and all that stuff. It just gets wild. And then anytime you do get to hang out with them, it's just like a little bit more sometimes stressful to plan. And how are the kids going to be, because as I've mentioned before, Ziana and Sahil are very attached to Bavisha. And that's an inner ego struggle, and the want and desire to help, but I can't. And then I get lost into going and enjoying myself, in the sense of, okay, kids are with Bavisha, okay, I'll hang out over here. And then I look over and it's just like I've got 1,000 knives coming at me, things like that. But not as to say Bavisha's a bad, where am I going with that? But not, yeah,
Not that
but
she's
it's a lot. It's a lot for her, and then that kind of snowballs
yeah.
into an argument between us, in terms of, oh great, that was a great time, really good seeing them, and she's in the car like, dude, I was dying the whole time, and whatnot. So it's those struggles and battles and whatnot. And you hate to kind of say it as a struggle or a battle or whatnot. This is enjoyment in life, but parenthood is all
It
things.
is.
It is all things:
It
highs,
is.
lows, in betweens, worst days, best days, greatest moments. Shit day, you come home, you see Ziana run to you, give you a hug, or you know great day, you come home and it's a tantrum city, you know so each day is a new day and a new struggle, new negotiations with Ziana about what she wants to wear, what she wants to eat, how we're going to get to school and make Carline on time without getting an email. you know yeah, so each day is a struggle, and each day is a loss or a win. And but we still wake up and do it again, and love every moment of it, or try to love every moment of it, but and keep a straight face when you're getting your ass kicked at work or getting your ass kicked at home. So yeah, it's been wild.
Man. So I'm sure all the listeners and watchers can feel it too, but
Hmm.
uh, definitely feeling, I appreciate the vulnerability. I think everyone
Yeah,
needs a vulnerability, and that's the purpose of this.
yeah,
Uh, I'm sorry you're feeling the way sometimes you are. I obviously we can all say that parenthood is a battle. It is a balance. It's a tug of war. Um, every age is going to bring a new challenge, right? With which you're already seeing,
yeah, yeah,
and you kind of get for you all, you get foresight with Ziana on what may happen with Sahil, right? You're like,
Mhm,
oh man,
mhm.
and it's again,
Yeah,
work may be
yeah,
different.
yeah.
I guess I'd love to break some of this down because I think by you sharing some of the challenges, it's going to help others. You said you're struggling and you're surviving. Um, like you've given us some insight on a lot of it. But Beach has been traveling, so you're also single dad then with two kids, and you've got to balance your work, which is more than just work. It's entrepreneurship, it's real estate, it is always moving, it's always fluid. So like what are like the two or three things that are really, you're trying to focus on the most and you're trying to prioritize right now, from a work life family standpoint, and how can we maybe address some of those here, on this podcast?
Yeah, what I'm struggling with most and I'm trying to work on more is just even the simple things of, okay, yes, I will be available this time, because Bhavisha's busier than I am in some days. She's
Mm,
traveling every other week, and with this weather we've had over the last few weeks too, there's also delays and whatnot and uncertainties in terms of when she'll be able to be back and whatnot and how we plan for the unknown, and plan for her being gone and how I'll adjust with work. Ziana will adjust, Sahil will adjust, our our parents, her parents will adjust and all that to support us so that we can still, you know, survive. So the small things that I wanna focus on is being able to be available when I say I am, because, like, Bhavisha works from home and, if I'm available to be home, I can watch Sahil from, 12 to 2 or whatnot, because he's still not in daycare yet, and that's one of the biggest struggles too. Once he
yeah,
goes to daycare, it'll be a little bit easier, but we just have decided not to put him in just based on what we experienced with Ziana at that age, and then also we're just in the holiday time,
yeah,
so we don't wanna spend that money to only have him in for 2 weeks out of the 2 months essentially,
right.
right? And then even with snow days and things like that, they call off. And then when you put him back in, it's the middle of flu season, so it's like, great. Then we bring that home and deal with it and, deal with another curveball. So we've just kind of made that decision, not for financial reasons, but just kind of what we've experienced with Ziana and kind of what we think is best, but which every parent can do. There could be a listener here be like, that's the dumbest thing I've heard. Or there could be others that are like, yeah, been there. But parenthood is that. Parenthood, whatever works for you, works for you.
Well,
You can, yeah. So, but we take guidance and insight and advice and experience and kind of digest that and mold it to what works for us.
yeah,
Um,
you know, your struggles are real, right? Like,
yeah,
um, I think that's good that you guys addressed the not going to daycare yet, but
yeah,
obviously, you're going to have to go through these challenges that are going to come up with
right,
that. Um,
right,
and they're all valid. And I think
mhm,
for you all, and this, like the gratitude that at least it's not from a financial standpoint,
right,
it's more from a, community standpoint,
yeah,
point, whatever all that is.
yeah,
That obviously, you're grateful for that. And you've been blessed with that. So that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
Um, like, and a lot of us would approach this like, man, you know, God, how can you make this better? What can you do to maybe prioritize your time a little bit better, protect your schedule from clients changing things or brokers changing things or showings and all that stuff, right? Because that world is chaos. I've learned that from you. Um,
yeah,
it's all, a lot of us will look at, okay, with what I've got, how can I make this all work?
yeah,
And I'm going to say something that a lot of people are like, okay, well, that's not bad. I don't know how I can do that, but I really,
mhm,
this is part of where my awakening has come from and where I'm trying to get people to understand and what I want to share more is like the all of this that you're probably going through.
mhm,
Not like maybe, but it all is. It's all of this that we're all going through is
yeah,
it's it's honestly it's based on the type of society that has been created here. I'm
yes,
going to be very open and honest, and a lot of people are not going to like what I have to say, but
mhm,
created this environment, this society, this capitalism that has created these pressures that we cannot sit alone with our time at all, because every minute we have to look at it from making money and paying bills. And oh my God, this client needs this. And oh my God, this needs that. And
Mhm.
this is what is going to happen when we live in this type of society. And I'm
Mhm.
dead serious that exactly what you're feeling through. I've had 4 conversations, and I've told you I've had another podcast that I'm going to start launching. People are feeling this way because of this society.
Yeah.
This way, you can't go to daycare because people are sick and maybe there's mismanagement and the price is way too high. But then you still have to pay the bills and your wife has to work and you have to deal with all the bullshit you deal with all the clients because you have to pay the bills and your threshold is $10,000 a month or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Some point, brother man, we all have to grow the guts to say, I am done with this shit.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I knew you weren't expecting me to go on this tangent, especially on listings and lullabies. This is more for my own stuff. But I'm going to be very honest. This society is killing each of us. It is drowning our souls. And if
Mhm.
we don't wake up and do something about it, we're all going to be miserable and dead. So I'm going to say this to you, Varun.
Mhm.
I've seen you the last few years. You've been doing amazing things, but you're also very tired. All
Yeah.
right. Through this journey of this podcast for the last few years, I see the exhaustion. I see
Mhm.
I also see the fruitfulness and the abundance and all that. Like, you're in this war right now. These
Yeah.
first 2 3 years are crazy, right? We see it
Yep.
with Millen and Arya. We see it with other kids, but we start to see the beauty that comes out of it, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna be in it. It's gonna come down to boundaries and
Mhm.
how you are going to protect your unit and
Mhm.
reliable for them, right? At
Mhm.
the end of the day, that one showing, that one thing, this and that, that's not going to matter as much as Ziana knowing, damn, my dad was supposed to come at 5 and he showed up at 6,
Right.
right?
Right.
So, sorry, I
Yeah.
put you off on that tangent because I've been hearing a lot of this and
Yeah.
it's all coming from this society. I'm going to be very honest with you.
Yeah.
The pressures are coming from us having to prove ourselves, us trying to get the things we want, materialistic or whatever it is, and all this stuff, and it's never going to end. So
Right.
you have to decide, when is it enough for you and when am I going to take control of what my life should be?
Yeah, and that's the tough part is, yes, the outside pressure from society, what people think about you, what you have to prove that you don't necessarily need to, and, yeah, you're absolutely right. Everything going on in the world that you see in social media, you see in the administration, you see, across the globe and whatnot, it's not anywhere where anybody woke up and expected this is the country, this is the world that I want to live in, or this is what I want to do in life. That people are struggling out there that don't have the conveniences that we have, and
Yeah.
I never come on here to complain and say I have the worst out of it. I know I have close friends that, had to send their daughter to daycare within 6 weeks. They have no support. And if there's a snow day, it is what it is. You have to work, you don't have to work. And that's what's tough too, is like you need to provide for your kids by working, but yet you need the support in daycare, but that's an arm and a leg or whatnot. It's like an endless merry-go-round that a lot of people are right now is say, when does it fucking stop?
Yeah. Well, I want to go back to what you did, the reaction that all of us men will sometimes do. You apologized for
Hmm.
sounding like you were bitching or complaining or whatever about that. Take
Yeah.
that back. Do not
Yeah.
apologize. You are absolutely allowed to feel the way you feel, share
Yeah.
those emotions, and release it. So please
Hmm.
do not apologize. Your feelings are absolutely valid, brother. They are
Yeah.
absolutely valid. And as a dad, as someone that, feels as though I have to carry these burdens on my own shoulders alone, no, we are here for you. We are all
Hmm.
here. And so share it. Like, what are some more struggles you're feeling, man? Like, let it out, dude. Like,
Yeah,
what are
I
some levels,
mean,
man?
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of struggles that we're going through. The slow period of work we're coming into. What does each month look like? That's always in the back of my head that these clients could just up and just disappear. The
Yeah.
market could completely tank. I don't obviously foresee that coming, but we don't. You can listen to 1,000 real estate experts, real estate guys, but nobody knows what tomorrow is. Nobody knows what the next hour is, and all that stuff, right? One thing could happen in the administration. One could thing could happen in the world, one thing could do this, whatnot. So we truly don't know, but we try to be the experts that we can, and just in any industry. But that, as a business owner, is always in the back of your mind. You're running multiple departments. A
Yeah.
lot of people are relying on you, both employees and family. So there's a lot of built-in pressure, and then you need to come home and be there for your child, because your child doesn't know what 5 o'clock is and 6 o'clock is. Your child just remembers that you didn't show up. Your child remembers that you're on the phone all the time, whether you're texting or whether you're calling someone. Your your child remembers when you and mom are getting in arguments because this was expected or this was not expected, and this parent is overwhelmed and out, and releasing their frustration on dad or child or whatever it may be. And those are the memories that unfortunately happen. So those are all the struggles that we're going through, that of course a lot of people go through. But what we're trying to get to and remind ourselves, that we're all still a unit. Like you said,
Yeah.
we are still a team. There is no myself versus Bavisha, Bavisha versus me. There is no competition in who's the better parent, who's the better husband or spouse, who's the better this, and we struggle with that a lot. Like I said earlier on in the episode, was Bavisha does a lot, and I try to be there to support and things like that. But yeah, sure, like any individual, when you don't have a kid on you, you take that free moment to go enjoy, but then your world closes in on you and you're, lost in your phone. Maybe you're lost in a work email or whatnot, and you're not looking up and realizing, oh, shoot, okay, my kid is over here. Let me check in and things like that. But we always try to do that. But those are kind of the battles and struggles we're dealing with, both as individuals and a family.
Yeah. And I will say, like, and we only have one child, right? So it's different for
Hmm.
us versus others. But that beginning time, brother, it is a lot rougher. You know,
Hmm.
you're just really in it. And when Bavisha was pregnant with Sahil, you guys knew, you're like, oh my God, we're about to be in it. And you're just in it, right? God bless, Sahil had an amazing first birthday last couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we know he's going through a little bit, and just know that you are getting closer to that light, right?
Yeah.
And it's okay. Like, if you need to grab Sahil right now in the middle of
Yeah.
this podcast and hold him, like, this is raw. This is real. Like,
Mhm.
this is what we do,
Yeah.
fam. Like, to
Yeah.
the girl dad, to the dads out there, like, this is raw. This is why we put this out there.
Right.
Like, this is behind the scenes. Like, Varun's literally talking to his wife and saying, like, how can I help while produce this podcast for the world, right? Like,
Yeah.
this is real life. Um,
Yeah.
and we don't need to sugarcoat it with these Instagram filters and all this stuff. Like, this is real. So next.
Right.
Oh, nice hoodie, by the way, bro. I like that
Oh,
hoodie.
yeah, these are the new ones.
Yeah.
Well, this is the sample new one, but these will be out in a couple weeks, so.
Nice, nice. I got some shirts for you too, because you always give me gear. So I got you a Sony Sound shirt. Um,
Hell yeah.
but man, well, you've said a lot of things. I guess, like, and I'm just getting a little granular here. So
Yeah.
because we know, and for the world that doesn't know. So yes, Varun's kids are very attached to their mother.
Mhm.
I'm sure this is not the like the only family that has this issue. All right. Trust me, we
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
There's plenty of others that probably have the same dynamic going on. Um, like, have there been times where, and I know sometimes, like, you have to let them cry it out. It's gonna take a day, but they'll get used to it. Like, have you tried to just be like, man, I know they're crying for her and they only want her, but I'm just going to take one and I just have to, and I know I'm going to have to deal with it. Like, have you, I'm sure you have, but like, how have those situations been when you do some of that?
Um, you know, for the most part, not good. It just kind of gets a little bit worse. They cry a little bit louder, they scream a little bit harder. So that's tough. And then it just falls down to, like, okay, why put them through that? When all right, fine, Bavisha will get off the work call or something like that. That doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen. And the inner struggles I deal with is, okay, what am I doing wrong? Am I not doing enough? Am I not here enough? Are they not seeing me enough? Am I not nice enough, friendly enough, loving enough? Things like that. So those questions always pop in my head. Is like, why? Why so attached to them? What am I doing? Is it the
That's
vibe? Is it the persona that I give off and things? So those are just inner struggles and questions that I ask myself of, you know, am I not when I'm here, am I not always here? Are they just like, okay, we can't rely on him. So, it's just
then you have all these thoughts going through your head, and they're all valid thoughts to go through them, right?
yeah.
Um, Let me ask you this because you brought up a good, more of a deep spiritual side of things where like, am I giving off the right, something,
Mhm.
why are they kind of like anti me versus, welcoming to
Mhm.
mom and stuff like,
Mhm.
let me ask, like, how much do you sit by yourself in silence and like meditate or try to like raise your vibrations and listen to sound therapy and try to like hum and like what what kind of mindfulness practices do you have in your life right now?
0.
There you go.
Yeah.
I will tell you this, that if you can try and make some time, and there's plenty of tools, there's apps, there's a lot of different things, like if you can try and like maybe 2 or 3 times a week for like 15-20 minutes. Just sit and meditate. There's plenty of meditation practices, courses, just even sitting with like frequencies. I can't verify or whatnot. I'm not a scientist, but I have seen how that stuff can maybe help.
Mhm.
You also have to understand that kids can hear and see think a little bit differently than us, right? Their
Yeah.
visions a little bit differently. And a lot of times they get sensitive and feeling from people based on maybe their vibes or their moods or what they're thinking in their head. So sometimes if
Yeah.
you walk in from a client call that's like really tough
Yeah.
or you're frustrated and you've got maybe fumes coming off your head, they're going to notice that. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how you can kind of bring in some meditation, some mindfulness, I will guarantee you it'll help. You just have
Mhm.
to be able to sit with yourself and do it.
Yeah.
So that would be, again, unsolicited advice, brother to brother, just coming in and saying some things. Man, well, the other thing that would be great, and I'm sure, and I know you've heard this before, and these are just little small things, um, rephrasing things from like I have to or I
Mhm.
to,
Mhm.
changing that to I get to. I
Yeah.
to drop off Ziana at daycare. I
Yeah.
get to go home at 5 p.m. to take care of the kid, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is all over social media. I'm not the first person to say this. Not
Yeah.
just
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
sometimes reiterating it, reinforcing it, stuff like that. A lot of it is just staying the course, brother.
Yeah.
Just staying the course.
Yeah.
Don't try to think too much about the future, and definitely forget about the past, and
Yeah.
just try to be present there, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Because it's funny, I said that once to Bavisha when she was struggling to put Ziana down, and she was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, oh, I get to put her down, you get to keep breathing." I was like, "Okay, yeah, maybe not the right time to use that mindfulness method."
oh God.
He's like, "Yeah, at least you get to put her down." Like, "Okay, yeah, you get to stay in this house." Like, "Okay."
Guess what I get to do after this?
Yeah, 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 exactly. Um, but no, I mean, we have good wins as well, it's just
Yeah,
the struggles that, we all go through and whatnot, but I mean, we collaborate well together. Okay, so it's not like okay, she's putting Ziana down and I'm upstairs, binging a Netflix show. I'm stepping up to do whatever else is in the house. Dude, it is wild. Like the dishes, the laundry, the shit everywhere. Like we used to clean every night, clean up the toys, clean up the house, vacuum, things like that. We barely run the dishwasher now. Some nights we're like, dude, and we would make sure like, nope, we're gonna be that family. We have everything clean and all that stuff. And then no, I mean, because Sile crawls around now. Sile's you're not tough, but it's just another human now
yeah,
too. It's man on man defense. That's all it is now. And everyone said that before. So I can't even imagine the people doing zone or outmanned right now with 3 or 4 kids. But so yeah, the followers listening to us that have 3 or 4 kids are probably like, dude, you don't even know the half of it. But
well, any
yeah,
of those people, please DM us, drop
yeah,
comments. help us out. Create, if you've created systems or something that work for you, let a brother know, man. Vado needs some assistance, some guidance, some support.
Yeah,
You know, and so yes, please
exactly.
share anything
Exactly.
you've got out there, man.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. So there's things we do well as a team in terms of handling that stuff. And honestly, like a small win, we realize is we were always like when we're getting out the door, we would always kind of get them ready and then we try to shower and get ready. And then probably a few weeks ago, or there was one time that we were like, no, let's shower. We'll shower first, and then we'll get the kids ready and just bam, go out the door. And it was just much, much easier in the sense of flow of things, getting out of the house, packing the snacks, packing the diaper bag, packing the stroller, all that stuff. It just felt like we're always like 2 hours. We need to start getting ready to go 2 hours in advance or whatnot. But, there's certain things you can avoid, but, maybe there's a tantrum, maybe there's a whatever, something happens, things like that. But we're figuring out the kind of correct or more effective and functional ways we even just shower these days, which is hilarious. But those small those small successes are big wins when we're out the door happily and stress free versus like rushing out the door, throwing this in, forgetting that, we're just flying out of the door and all that stuff, and it's just a high stress moment. So really just working ways to kind of reduce the stress and the pressure in these moments, because they also translate to the kids. You know, we don't want them to experience consistency of running out of the house,
right,
constantly being late and whatnot. There's my time management ineffectiveness 1,000% comes from the experience I had growing up, and I thought that was normal, and that's not a knock on the environment and the parents in which we grew up in. It was just they didn't really have time to breathe. They didn't also have the support that we have and whatnot. They
right,
ran stores and businesses and things like that too. So there was no like, all right, we got a set routine. This will do that and all that stuff. So we just didn't know what that looks like. And at 38 years old, how the fuck are you going to go and start that over and try to figure it out? Yes, there's things that we're looking into, reading social media accounts, whatnot, that offer that insight and guidance and stuff.
mm,
But that's huge to just change that. And then plus the industry I'm in, shit changes every minute. You know, I'm constantly a logistic coordinator for photography, marketing, staging, listing prep, sellers, getting things ready and stuff. And one little wrinkle in that
right,
chain essentially just throws everything off. I just had that happen yesterday. Had a packed day as every day is, and there was no room for any hiccup or flaw. And we get to the first appointment, which is listing photos, and it's not ready. And, then you have to go and just talk to your seller, explain them to this, talk to the photographer who's now also blocked off that day and whatnot too. So you've pissed off some people. And then you also have to have a tough conversation with your client and be like, I'm not going to put my name on this shit product. Right.
right.
So you have to have those tough and difficult situations and things. So you're balancing a lot, as a business owner, as a real estate agent, as someone with ADD, like two kids, there's a lot of balance beam and balls in the air that you're juggling and stuff. So it's just wild,
Well,
wild.
I want to hit one thing that you said, um, which I like to call it the airplane oxygen mask
Hmm.
principle,
Yeah.
which is you just did it and it was a win, which is and this is like for life philosophy, right?
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
in the airplane, they always tell you put your mask on first
Yep.
before you help your child or anyone
Yeah.
next, right? And that's the philosophy of life is make sure you are fully like capable of doing things and then
Hmm.
take care of your kids and stuff. And so
Hmm.
by showering first, you're ready. Now you can go and do what they need. And
Yeah.
look how well it worked out. And so that is kind of like a life um philosophy is, hey, in order to take care of your kids, you got to be in the best shape of your life, not best shape of your life, but you have to be there, present,
Right.
ready, and able before
Right.
you can take care of your kids. If you're
Yep.
mess, how are you going to take care of your kids? And that is exactly how trauma gets carried down to children into next generation and all that. And you just alluded to it as well. You said, I thought this was normal, the chaos of it and this and that. And, for us to compare our lives to our parents is not fair one bit, right? Like our parents migrated from a country to this world, not knowing the language, trying to like make ends meet and stuff. And so it's not even comparable. We have beautiful homes. It's different. There's still life challenges and they're all valid,
Hmm.
but they're just not comparable. And we have to give them grace for what they went through. Right. Um, no, so I guess like, and we can hear Sahil in the, oh,
Do you
hi,
want me to try to
Sahil.
take him?
And this is real, y'all. I guess Varun, and we can kind of move quicker just because you've got family to deal with. We wanted to address something that you wanted to talk about, which was screen time.
Yeah.
And I think, and this is a very, very big topic for the last
Hmm.
6 years, and it's getting even more.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little about screen time because you were like, hey, I want to definitely talk about this and release some stuff. So, what is the challenge that's happening in your unit with screen time right now? First, let's go over that. What is that going on right now?
Yeah, it's definitely that's kind of grown in our lifestyle now. That Ziana's 2.5. So there's shows there, there's outside environment and whatnot, and it becomes a co-parent for us too, as well, where it's like, okay, great. You're watching this. We now have a moment to change the load of laundry or clean up or just catch up and whatnot. But it's also, it's a double-edged sword, right? Yes, you can watch educational stuff or things like that, but it's all, sensory stuff that can be pretty crippling to that young and fresh of a brain, in that sense. So, then they become hooked, and that's all they want. That's all they want when they're, uh, eating dinner or whatever they're driving or needing to get out of the house. So we bribe them with it and whatnot. It just becomes a very slippery slope that we don't want. And that's kind of a little bit in the back, actually not a little bit, a lot of it in the back of my head, in front of my mind of just where do we stop? How do we pull back? Because also the tough part is too is Sahil sees this as well and he's
Yeah.
won,
Oh yeah.
right? Ziano never got iPad or anything like that because it was just 2-on-1 time essentially.
Yeah.
And now it's we give it to his sister and then he sees it, and then he wants it, and then now he sees the phone, and he pulls for it and cries for it and things like that. He has no idea what he's doing and whatnot, but he just sees it and thinks that's what he needs to survive. So that is something that's been weighing on us in the sense of this is not what we want. We don't want to go to a restaurant and just have the kids watch iPads the
Right.
2 hours that we're there, just so the parents can, you know, eat in peace. But also then the flip side of, thoughts is like, well, then why even go out? But it's that's what we do. We like to go out.
Yeah. Of course.
We like to travel, we like to enjoy, whatnot. So it's just kind of working through things and of course would love our listeners and followers to share their guidance because, there's um people I've talked to that they were, super strict on it and kudos to them. And it's like they only get it for 10 minutes prior to bed and their kids are like 7 and 9 and things like that now. Or there's, people we see that have their iPads out with them the entire dinner and whatnot. And also people we see just in the restaurants as well, people we don't even know. And, you understand that as well. So each each reason is their own, right? But
So
that for us is something we definitely don't want to rely on and handicap us as parents that, okay, fine, just give them this because we're drowning in our own stuff, our own issues of surviving in the house, surviving at work, surviving our daily grind and whatnot. So that's something I at least have been struggling with in the sense of, okay, because I get to take Ziana to school every day. But it used to be we'd sing, we'd do ABCs, we'd count, we would look at things outside, whatnot. But now that she's older and she knows, she's like, "You have iPad, daddy?" And it's like, No, but I am soft and I want to make her happy in every facet. So there are some days that I will give it to her. I don't tell Bavisha that. She might listen to this episode and be like, "What the?" But but there's some of those times, that, you just kinda need to and have to, but need to and have to is loose in the sense of what we feel we need to do be to avoid a worse situation, whether that's a tantrum, whether it's completely losing her mind or us not being able to finish the task we need to finish so that we do give them this, um, screen time,
Man,
so
so you've said a lot, and
yeah,
there's a lot of great
yeah,
things you said. Um, First of all, I think the world appreciates you actually talking about this because
mhm,
this is probably a very common thing. um,
mhm,
I'll share some things with you because me and Bria have done extensive research on this topic. We have gone through this exact same thing, and we have we found ourselves making some decisions that ultimately helped us out in the long run. So I will say a couple of things. And anyone else that has some concrete, great kind of practices, please share those with us as well. But I would definitely say a couple of things. It's definitely more attractive to them from a screen time standpoint, this like 2 year to 4 or 5 year old period, right? And
yeah,
that's when it gets used the most for co-parenting. Uh,
mhm,
a couple of things that you could do that can definitely help um, in some ways is definitely go set screen limits now. Start
yeah,
setting screen limits for your unit now that, hey, any given day, the maximum time they're going to get is 30 minutes or 40
yeah,
minutes, whatever that is.
right,
Set those and keep those. Ovian is 11 years old, and we still have screen limits on his stuff. All
yep,
right. That's non negotiable. Right.
mhm,
And if they want more time, certain days, this and that, it's a screen code. It comes to your phone. You can set all this up in an iPhone. All right. An iPad and all that. So I think screen limits would be great. When Opie was around the same age as Iana, we got into the habit of every morning for his breakfast, he would watch the iPad. It became
mhm,
just routine. He'd get his
yeah,
pancakes or waffles, bacon, whatever, and we put that. And then slowly Bria was like, wait, hold on. We're seeing habit changes. We're seeing attitude changes. We've got to change this.
mhm,
What we changed that with was now we changed that with like the TV. So it was like
mhm,
an episode,
yeah,
or talking to him, or putting a book in front of him, or different things. And Bria can probably share more with you offline. Um, but once we took that away and we transitioned it, it was probably maybe 3 or 4 days. But after that, it was done. So even till today, now he's 11. He can watch television. He can do some worksheets. He can finish homework. He can talk to us, whatever. But there's no iPad or screen in the
yeah,
morning, right?
yeah,
There is going to be a battle, right?
mhm,
There's going to be a time where they're going to cry and you're going to have to hear it. But once they overcome that battle, they'll be okay.
yeah,
I will say this too. It's an American issue. I went
mhm,
to Spain and I saw many kids at dining room tables at restaurants. No one has iPads. This is an
mhm,
American issue. And again,
mhm,
going back to what I said in the very beginning, because of the pressures of capitalistic society, we are doing these things. We don't know what else to do. Now, of course, you can go through alternatives. Stop taking the iPad to the dinner tables. Start
yeah,
at right. Start at home where the principle is no iPads at the dinner table, and carry that over the restaurants.
mhm,
And bring books, bring
yeah,
coloring.
yeah,
Maybe talk to ChatGPT and create trivia that you guys
mhm,
go over. Um, some of those things. Now, I will say when we're at when we're at restaurants, sometimes with OV and two, he'll want the phone to look at stuff. Some days we'll do it. Some days we won't.
yeah,
And that also requires then us, if we're not going to give him a screen, then we have to engage with him.
correct,
We have to then pause our conversation that might be more
yeah,
adult like and
yeah,
be like, okay, let's let's talk about something fun, the
Yeah.
Bengals, or some books, or school, or
Yeah.
life, or Xbox,
Yeah.
something that relates to him, right?
Yep.
Obviously, Ziana's too, so that's a
Yeah.
whole different dynamic.
Yeah.
But there are gonna have to be some sacrifices that you're gonna have to do, and I'll tell you this: the research that is coming out about short form video for kids
Mhm.
is horrific.
Yeah.
Short form video is equivalent to 1 pack, almost 2 packs of cigarettes a day.
Wow.
So unless you want to see your kids smoking cigarettes, stop giving them short form videos all the time. Now,
Yeah.
I will paint you some hope too. I have a younger niece who, for 6 years of her life, every single meal, all the time, was iPad, iPhone, all of that.
Mhm.
The parents didn't put any screen limits, no nothing. I told them like 7 times to put screen limits on and stuff. They never did. Um, but but now she's like 8 and she is much better. She does not need the iPad or iPhone
Mhm.
at dinner or lunch or whatever. She eats everything. We've seen like, wow, kids are resilient. They can come out of it as long as you start taking some of those steps. So kudos to whatever they did to do that.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
paint for you because it will help. But you're going to
Yeah.
have parameters around it and look at the research. Get more books. That's something we've honestly, bro. What you're going through, we're going through too. The screen, it becomes
Mhm.
Xbox for boys a little bit,
Yeah. Yep.
but it's also their social circle. Like
Yeah.
for our son, it's where he can talk to his friends, not in school. So we understand that sometimes that's what's happening. And his phone is it's like a kid's phone. It's not no social media until at least 14, 15. God,
Mhm.
every parent, I would tell you right now, knowing social media and knowing the research, please do not give your kids social media access until 14, 15. Please just do not do it. It is going
Yeah.
to crush them. The anxiety levels, I see it in my niece, I see it in other kids. It's crazy. These kids can't be around big groups of people anymore because of the anxiety, and they care so much about what they look like because everything is Instagram reality. So those are just some things I would say. But the fact that you were addressing it already, bro, you're already going to make the right decisions.
Yeah.
But you're also going to need to set screen limits. You also can't pick up the phone all the time and this and that.
Yeah.
So, they're going to become,
Yeah, for sure. It starts with me, and that's what I've just battled with all year. Is just because we've had Sile for a year, and it's been like, okay, it's not that okay, one person can handle both and
right.
all that while I'm dealing with this, and
Yeah.
all the bullshit I deal with work is it's not like okay, yes, there's fires I put out and things, but if they don't get handled right away, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And if a client doesn't, isn't cool with that, go fuck yourself. I'm good with not having you as a client. Um,
Let me ask you, like, do your clients expect, or clients and vendors, like, do they expect you to get back to them right away or something? Like, or
no,
that's something you just like
it's
internally?
just the value. Yeah, it's just in my head. It's just the value because to me, the way I've run my business is that they can go to anybody else at any time. There's 36,000 real estate agents in the state of Ohio, right? There's
Don't sell
there.
yourself short. Don't
Yeah,
sell yourself short, brother. No,
yeah,
what you do, give yourself some credit. You do some amazing things for your clients. And there's no way in hell all 36,000 of those people are doing it. Hell no.
I
I
appreciate.
see how
Yeah,
hard you work. The world sees
yeah.
how hard you work. Your family
Yeah.
sees how hard you work. So give
Yeah,
yourself
no,
those.
I appreciate that, and you're right, and it's good to hear that and stuff, and I know that I'm at a place where I can start dialing it back, and none of my main clients that are worth anything to me will ever give me shit about that because I
Yeah.
do work my ass off, go above and beyond and whatnot. And
Yeah.
that's what I've been doing this year. It's like, okay, yeah, I'll focus on my main ones and the little ones and things like that. And I've had things fall through the cracks. I just a few weeks ago, there was an investor client. They were a residential client. Then they wanted to get investments and things like that. He has young kids as well. There was a couple times that our lunch meetings got canceled, so we just turned it into a quick phone call about the investment process, things like that. And then one night, I'm just on Facebook and I just see that okay, his wife had reposted another real estate agent's pending post saying, "Hey, congrats to my investor clients. We're under contract on this or whatever." So I just messaged him. I was like, "Hey, did you guys buy this?" They're like, "Yeah, we just won our contract." I was like, "Okay, great, congrats. I'm sorry if I dropped the ball." But he was like, "No, you didn't drop the ball. We just thought that, we would be too much for you and whatnot and all that stuff." But again, I didn't really follow up and stay attentive to it because I was also waiting for him to get back to me on how they were going to buy it. He was working through some cash deals, selling some stocks, or just doing some loans and things like
Yeah.
that. But just the follow up just wasn't there because I was so focused on 80 other things, not 80 other things, but that does happen. And that's not, but the conversation was good where didn't feel like I dropped the ball. I thought I did, but he was like, no, we just thought, and I was like, we both were like, yeah, we should have had that lunch meeting to get a better understanding of what this all looks like and things. But he was like, yeah, I'll let you know when we're ready to buy the next one, things like that. So that happens. 5 years ago, I would have been like, just destroyed and pissed and now I'm like, yeah, okay, it is what it is, and I implement that into my conversations and consults when I have with buyers, sellers, investors, and I introduce them to my team because I'm like, look, I'm not going to be here. I put them in the group chats with my team because I'm not going to be able to be involved every step
Right.
of the way, but I'm going to be behind the scenes. I will be there when you need me. I will be catching up. I will stay in the loop. You may not see me face to face, but you will know that I'm still involved in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, so it's, I share that to, any new clients thinking about reaching out or any current clients maybe not seeing me, it is what it is, but we don't stop, we still keep going. But that's also how scaling of businesses works, you
Right.
know? Y People come in and out and things like that, you still get the same level of service, you just maybe won't deal with me, but but that's a struggle that I dealt with over the last few years, but I'm at a comfort level now of it that, okay, it
Yeah.
is what it is, I know where I need to be. Once I cross that bridge, I'm not coming back. Ain't nobody going
Exactly.
back on Brent's bench at
All right.
4 o'clock.
Like we
But
said,
yeah.
the past in the past, man.
Right, right,
um,
and it's been good, it's been a struggle, but I feel comfortable with it now because what I'm gaining at home is, family time, being with them and whatnot, and yeah, ChatGPT has been great because the last 2 days I was with just Ziana, and I was like, "There's no way in hell that we are doing just screen time, and I'm just gonna take the easy way." No, so yesterday I took her to the library, took her to Chick-fil-A, there's this
yes.
busy board thing that has the letters and the numbers and the colors and all that stuff, we went through it, and then it was what I love about Chick-fil-A is they give a game. And it was a
Yeah.
perfect game they gave was the matching cards. So I laid them all out and she matched the cards the whole time. So the whole time dinner, I didn't have my phone on me because I was like, oh, let me record some content. I was like, no, I'm not even gonna take my phone out for anything of this because I just want to enjoy the time with her.
No,
Um,
that's great. Now,
yeah,
as a content creator, I would say
yeah,
grab that phone and capture it. And the only
yeah,
reason I say that is because, and I think most parents would attest to this, like we watch old kid videos of Ovian
yeah,
all the time.
yeah.
And I am so grateful we've captured so much of stuff, and Bria has when I was DJing, because those memories are awesome. So taking your phone out to capture and
Yes,
that's
for
okay.
sure. For
Kudos to
sure.
you. Kudos.
Yeah, I mean, I did at the library. I was just like, I'm just enjoying this. I just even forgot to even kind of pull up my phone or whatnot. So it was just
That's
nice because I was like, I'm not gonna go home but we did go home. We got ready. I gave her milk and I gave her Mika. She loves Mika and Blippi and all that stuff right now. I gave her that for 10 minutes. Okay. And
that's
then I was like, okay, baby, you get 10 because I also had to poop. So I was
fine.
like, I need some me time. Yeah. Uh, so yeah, she got it for 10 minutes. I was like, okay, okay, baby, let's go read our books. Let's go lay down. And we go in and we go to the bed. And now the next battle is getting her into her own room now. So
And,
um,
and
yeah,
all of
but
you know,
each each struggle and battle has some win out of it, and that's what I will hang my hat on. Is like, yes, there are tough times we deal with internally as a male, as a father, as uh, uh, a provider,
yep,
that we will deal with, and the greatness of this country, and the life we have also is that we get to talk about it to whomever we want to talk about, and we get to be how we want to be. Some people may not listen. Some people may say you're a coward or whatnot, but those people don't mean shit to any of us. But you can talk about it. You can get on a podcast and bitch for 30 minutes if you need to or whatnot. But we have each other. We all have struggles, losses, wins, highs, lows, and things like that. So, um, but it's nice to be able to just talk about it and kind of feel better about it or adapt and things. So that was a proud moment I had that I was like, okay, it was just her and I, and we got to just hang out, you know. And this morning she woke up, Bavisha was here. Bavisha was here, and she told Bavisha about it. She's like, "Daddy put me to bed," and all this stuff. So I was like, "Great, can I still sleep?"
Well, it
So,
matter.
but she won't remember me. She won't remember me tonight when it's time for bed. But it's fine. I get those wins, and
Oh,
it's all good. But
she will remember all those. Dude, that's awesome. Like,
yeah.
you're already going to do great because it's already such a priority for you, right? And you
Hmm.
already
Hmm.
did things. Just that story alone is huge. You took her to the library, you went to
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A, matching cards, you
Yeah.
put her to bed, she got a little
Yeah.
bit of that iPad time. Like, that's
Yeah.
balance. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. What's
Yeah.
not, what wouldn't be beautiful if she was on an iPad for 4 hours, right? That
Right.
brain rot is real. That
Right.
brain rot is so real, people. Um, but kudos to you, dude. Like, the fact that you care this much, bro, like, that is a win. You are going to raise beautiful children. You're going to have a great family because you care. And you carry that over to the work you do too. And that
Hmm.
shows. So,
Yeah.
a lot of this, a lot of the stuff that I'm hearing from you, and I just had two beautiful conversations with two other people, and the
Hmm.
common thing that came out from those, and some of the stuff I've heard about what you were saying, especially when you were apologizing and some of that, a lot of this stuff, and what you said about like 5 years ago, I really would have cared about that client going to someone else, but now I don't. Like the the thing about like all of this, and sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second there, is that like you you may not realize it, but you are growing so much through all of these little things,
Hmm.
right? And and the fact that you are caring so much and you're noticing it, your awareness is there, like that's all so much growth. And you're shedding away some of this stuff and you're prioritizing these things, and that's beautiful. Like
Yeah.
you're sharing the vulnerability. You want it, you made it a point, even with how busy you are. You came on this episode on this day, you're like, man, we got to shoot a podcast, right? Like we
Hmm.
have to do this stuff. So you're gonna be all right, and
Yeah.
all these challenges you're going through, they're going to be okay because you care. And I think that that's a huge like win for you, that you're addressing this stuff and you're coming on here. So I would say kudos for all that you're going through. Your awareness is through the roof, and that is really going to help you. But I just remembered a lot of this conversation, a lot of what we talked about, it comes down to self-worth.
Hmm.
It comes down to
Yeah.
self-worth. When you don't have that like respect and appreciation for your worth, then you tend to allow people to like control you in certain things and stuff, right? And you
Hmm.
let your
Hmm.
confidence down, and you
Yeah.
apologize to people for things that you think that might be wrong. But all of this is meant to elevate your self-worth, believe in yourself, and know that you're going to be all right and your kids are going to be all right. Right. And some
Yes.
of it is surrendering. You've got to
Yeah.
surrender. We can't be helicopter parents forever.
Yeah.
Right now, you need to. They're two.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
for us, like an hour point, like 11-year-old, like, and a lot of South Asians make the mistake of controlling these kids. Like, no, you got to do this, and you got to have that, and you got to become this and that. And it's like, honestly, I just want to be like, shut the fuck up sometimes. Like, God, like these expectations that we put on these kids, and
Yeah.
all of this, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Uh, and the reason why I said, like, I know you'll be okay by you caring about this stuff is, and I'll just share a quick story about our life. Um, our son, right now, all sixth graders in CPS, they all have to go through the Walnut Hills entrance exam. And
Hmm.
this year they changed it up. They
Mm.
changed the whole test up into something different that is based on iReady, which is like a math
Yeah.
and English language arts course that they have to take in school. They took the first entrance exam test a week after school. All right.
Mm.
And Ovi bombed it. Like he did not do
Yeah.
good. He didn't get into
Hmm.
Walnut. Their next diagnostic test, their next entrance exam was this past week.
Okay.
We had a month and a half to where we had to help Ovi.
Yeah.
And at 11 years old, there's only so much you can do. Yes, you can
Yeah.
limit Xbox. We told him no more Xbox on the weekdays. Limited. You have to start reading. We're going to print out all these worksheets. Like we were trying to mentor him and to be like, when you want something, you have to sacrifice some of these things in order to focus on these priorities to achieve what you want to achieve. And he really
Yeah.
wants to go to Walnut Hills. He really wants to go because a lot of his friends go. He knows I went. He knows I'm
Mhm.
involved still a lot. And he's like, he wants to be proud about it. He wants to go.
Yeah.
We had a month and a half. We had to get his scores up by like 30, 40 points. His percentiles had to be above 65%. So we worked our asses off with him, just kind of encouraging him and doing it. The last 2 weeks were his exams. He got 80th percentile, which is more than enough for the math. And he's apparently, we haven't gotten the score yet, but his teacher called Bria to tell him on his ELA score, he jumped up 90 points.
It's
And
awesome,
most
man.
likely, he is good enough to get into Walnut Hills. And the reason why I share that is if you put in the time and the effort and you sacrifice a little bit of yourself as well, and you
Yeah.
encourage these future children, these future leaders to do these things, they can achieve anything. And now Ovi knows if I put effort into it, I can do it. He can
Yeah.
believe. He can hope. And so why I share that is because you are actually implementing changes, you're going to be okay. You're
Mhm.
going to be okay. Your family will be okay. But don't stop doing those things, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I just wanted to share that as well with
That's
you.
awesome.
Cool.
Congrats to nephew. Let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's hopeful, like, and even for us as adults, it's like, holy shit, we helped our kid just a little bit, and now he was able to do it.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, same with you. Like, you may feel like, man, Ziana's just gonna be like this. No, they're sponges. Squeeze
Mhm.
that bad stuff out
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
absorb it with the other stuff.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Neuroplasticity.
Yeah.
Simple, right?
Yeah,
So,
1000%. Yeah, because you can just be in the simple stuff. It's like, okay, well, I guess she wants a screen time. Just give it. Like, no, you've got to, and then you do. Yeah, it's invigorating. You look at yourself. It's like, whoa, okay, wow, I've still got it in me. Just complacency is not what we want to be, and not what we want to give and show to our kids and things. And it's good to kind of impress yourself at whatever age.
yes.
Um, right? It's a good feeling. It's a
Yeah, like,
good feeling, and those little wins are something that you might need. Like for you and Bria, that was probably a win that you guys needed. Like, oh shit, okay, great, and it, rebonded you, and and gave you guys a lot of just like cheer and good energy. Like we did this for our son, and our son was able to see the success of it too.
yeah,
So
and it
yeah,
uplifts your whole unit, right? It's like, man, us three working together as a team were able to do this. Like, and
hmm
actually, did Ziana ask for the once you started playing the matching game and she was off the iPad, like you didn't give her the iPad, like, did she ask for the iPad again at all?
no, no, yeah.
And like, did she ask for it when you came home and you gave it to her, or you just gave it to her?
Um.
Right? Like, because,
I think I can't remember. I think she kind of asked for it just because I think it just like she came inside and we
yeah,
were
it's
just
like,
kind of getting things ready. So she was like, Mika, and I was like, sure, yeah, that's fine. Like
yeah,
you earned it essentially, yeah.
yeah.
But no,
But see, that's
the
it's,
when we were at the library, when we were at Chick-fil-A, even when we were driving to place, it was yeah, she was just we were just talking.
see,
So
that's awesome. That like
yeah,
that's proof right there.
yeah,
And kudos to you for doing that.
yeah,
Um, Man, what are some? This was a great conversation. Obviously, after 2 months, it's good to get back on here, and
yeah,
hopefully, we don't take another 2 months. I know we've talked about that before, but life
yeah.
happens, and it's all good. Um, any takeaways, brother man? Any takeaways from this? Well, I'm sure there's a lot of takeaways, but any takeaways you want to leave everyone with?
Yeah, we all have struggles, we all have fears as parents. But it's helpful share it. Talk about it. See what others are doing. I mean, that's what helped here. Just see what others have done, whether you have 1 kid, 10 kids, no kids, just, be able to have a core group or environment that you can lean on and just get what you need out of it. You don't need someone to say, "Oh, that's how you do it." Okay, tell me why you do it that way. You don't need a negative reaction. You don't need the judgment. You just need sharing. You need partnership. You need support. Um, so if you don't have that, reach out. If you don't have that, reach out. If you do, keep it. If you kind of do, hold on to it. If you're not sure, figure it out, but still reach out, you know? It's life is quality over quantity now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You don't need to see every person you know or every person in your phone. You don't need to go to any event, every event. You don't need to do any of this. You need to know who your people are, what they mean to you, and where they're at all times. That's it.
Community,
So,
baby. It's all
yep,
about your community.
yep,
There you go.
absolutely. But no, holidays are around us. We are excited. We're taking Ziana and Sahil to Disney in a couple days,
Oh,
about a week. She's excited because she keeps saying, "I'm going to Minnie's house."
yes.
And yeah, so we are, we were deciding back and forth. Does it make sense? Is it going to be enjoyable? Christmas, do we want to be here? We really wanted to go to South Africa. It just didn't work out. I mean, it's tough, 2 kids on a 20-hour flight, and then good God, flights are expensive, dude. Good God. So,
Yeah.
but we really want to get out there soon. We really want to get out there. I really want Bavisha to be able to get out there and her family meet Ziana and Sahil. So we're hoping that we can in a few months down the road, when it's not as of a busy of a season and things. But we're at least excited to get to take them there, and we're excited for Sahil to enjoy like that environment,
Yeah.
even resort style type stuff he's not really been to. And then Ziana is just going to be able to experience a lot more. We're going to take her to obviously all the princess characters, and we're going to do I think it's dinner with characters or
Oh,
something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah. So we're just
Where,
going to, yeah.
where are you guys staying at? And you don't have like,
A Marriott resort? Yeah,
oh,
a
yeah, yeah.
Marriott resort? Yeah, yeah, so it's got, like, the lazy river, it's got slides, it's got a
Oh, yeah.
pool, so we'll do one day
Oh,
there, a couple days at the different parks, whatnot, and,
yep. Yep.
so, yeah, we're just excited to, experience that with them, so, um she's gonna love it, and yeah, and for work, VRG, we were able to sponsor 3 kids through the Angel Tree Foundation. So yeah, all day yesterday I was shopping around, and so we sponsored 3 kids, a 13-year-old, a 6-year-old, both 13-year-old boy, 6-year-old boy, and a 7-year-old girl. Um, so yeah, I was able to be able to give back this year because, that means a lot. It's something I've always wanted to do, and Alexis and Ian had done that before, and it was just a quick, easy thing that I was talking to them about. Okay, how can we give back this holiday season? And it was that. And I know people in our family do a lot of different, similar things and whatnot. So it was good to be able to just give back to people that need it more than us. And what I want to do is share that with Ziana and Sahil as well. Like, this is what we do, and I
Yep.
think this will be a yearly thing we do, and get them involved so they
Yep.
can see what we do, as well, to give back, to acknowledge that not everybody has what we have, and understand that side of life. So, yeah, that was an enjoyable thing that we got to do today or yesterday, and got to drop off the gifts and things, and I know those kids will be really appreciative and able to just contribute in a small way, but I hopefully it's impactful.
That's awesome, man. Well, we wish you the best on this journey extravaganza. Bon
Yeah,
voyage. I'm sure
yeah,
their kids are going to love it. You
yeah,
all kids there too. I know your ass will for sure.
yeah. I love that
Uh,
shit, dude.
no, man, that's awesome. Um,
Yeah,
I think thank you for the takeaways. Thank you for the vulnerability. Thank you for sharing all of this stuff. It is all valid.
hmm,
It all needs to be heard and seen, and you'll be all right. Your family will be all right. Your unit will be all right. And
yeah,
with that, world, thank you so much for tuning into episode 20. Well, it's season 2, episode 10, but we're just saying episode 20
yeah,
throughout this entire journey. So thank you for listening to our episode. Please do not forget to check us out at girldadspodcast.com. We're also on Spotify, Apple, Amazon Podcasts, Google Podcasts, at Listings and Lullabies, A Girl Dad's Journey. Also, do not forget to follow us on YouTube, on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at girldads.podcast, the handle. And thank you, Varun, for sharing all this. We love you all.
No,
Happy
thank you for your insight
holidays
and input. Yeah.
and peace.
Happy holidays, everyone. Love you.